Welcome to the demo of Chatbot Dōjō, a web platform to test conversational agents or chatbots. We are all aware of the prominence of chatbots nowadays, from open domains like ChatGPT to task-oriented chatbots that help in performing some tasks, like accessing services in city halls, customer support, or booking a flight. Companies deploy chatbots in all sorts of channels, like web pages, social networks, or intelligent speakers. Hence, their correctness must be ensured. There have been incidents with deployed chatbots like the one by Air Canada, which offered incorrectly low prices to customers. Other examples show how people can cheat a chatbot to buy a car for $1. Therefore, we need automated testing techniques. Our goal is to offer such techniques by providing a set of tools integrated within a web platform called Chatbot Dōjō. With this, we can test any chatbot since we treat them as black boxes. First, Tracer explores the chatbot to infer a model of its functionalities, expected inputs, and relevant outputs. Tracer transformed the model into testing profiles, detailing instructions on how to test the discovered functionalities. These profiles are the input of Sensei, a user simulator that interacts with the chatbot according to the instruction provided, goals, input, interaction style. Then Sensei can discover generic failure like crashes. Finally, we can define rules to analyze in detail the extracted conversations to discover specific errors like wrong chatbot outputs. Let's now see the 6 steps to test our chatbot. When registering, we just need to input our basic details and a password of our choice, and we are ready. Upon register, we will have the setup progress that will guide us through the web page. First, we will have to input an IP key that we will use for our testing. We can choose our favorite provider and input our IP key. After registering and adding our IP key, we will have to define or choose a chatbot connector. For this, continue with our setup progress, which will take us here. Here we input our name. For example, we are going to test the pizzeria chatbot, which is made with Tasquito. So we choose this technology and we input here the base URL. Now that we have that, we continue with creating a project. Again, we continue with our setup progress, which will take us here. Here we define a name for our project, which is the connector, our IP key. Here we use the model that we will use for the exploration and the model that can be used in the profiles. And let's make the project public. Once we have created our project, we can let Tracer explore the chatbot. For this, we will have to click this button, choose the number of conversations and the number of turns per conversation, and execute it. Now we will have to wait until all the conversations are completed. Once the execution is done, here we will have our profile, which we will be able to edit. For example, let's make it shorter for the demonstration, and let's reduce the number of conversations to 4. Here we can save it, and we can also come here to see the results of the execution and view the text report and the graph with all the features. After executing Tracer, we can now use Sensei to execute the generated profiles. For this, we will come to the test center, choose the profile or profiles that we want to execute, and run the execution. Let's call this one Demo. To find the results of our Sensei execution, we must come to the Sensei dashboard. Here we can click somewhere to get into the panel. Here we can see how long it took for each chatbot message. We can see the errors, the total cost, total time. And for example, if we come back here, we can filter all projects and enter a different execution. Here we can enter the profiles and see in more detail the profiles executed. So for example, the context, interaction styles, number of conversation steps. And if we enter a conversation, we can clearly see what the user asked, including the variables, and also what the chatbot answered. So we can see here that the user asked for a small barbecue chicken pizza, but they got a small Hawaiian. If we check the conversation, we can see that it is because the chatbot said that they don't offer barbecue chicken pizza. So in the end, the user ended up ordering a Hawaiian pizza. Lastly, we have the testing rules. These rules can be applied over the conversations extracted from Sensei. For this, we must come again to our test center, which is where we always execute things, and we must upload here some rules. Here we are going to drag and drop them. Here we can see the rules. In this case, we are going to activate all of them. To execute the rules, we must choose the Sensei executions which we want to inspect. So let's run it. And here we will have the results. So as we can see, the goals were not completed for 4 of the conversations, which means there we have got 100% fail rate. If we come here to the Sensei check dashboard, we can view this. We can see the output in the console, or we can click export to download the CSV. Now the testing is complete. Thank you for watching.